For every swing, every moment, the Milwaukee Brewers fight. It's not just about hitting the ball, it's about leaving a legacy.
What if I told you that to win the World Series, we'd have to give up a fundamental part of our future? A trade is being discussed that would give us the firepower we desperately need. But the price is heartbreaking. Hit the subscribe button now, because we're about to debate if this sacrifice is worth it. Hello, Brew Crew. This is your trusted correspondent, coming to you straight from the heart of Brewers Nation, bringing you the hottest, most exclusive information you won't find anywhere else. Before we dive into the bombshell I have for you today, do yourselves and this channel a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You know we don't mess around here. The news breaks here first with the in-depth analysis you deserve. Don't get left behind. Subscribe now. Alright, let's get down to business. Today I'm bringing you a rumor that at first glance sounds insane. It feels like the kind of move we see in video games, not in the real-life operations of our front office. But the source is solid. The discussion is happening in the back channels of baseball, and I have the details. We're talking about a trade that could drastically alter the offensive landscape of the Milwaukee Brewers for years to come. The name in question? Ketel Marte, the superstar from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yes, you heard that right. A bold trade proposal has been put on the table, at least hypothetically, by Zachary D. Reimer of Bleacher Report, and it's making waves. The idea is this: Ketel Marte would come to Milwaukee. In return, we would send a considerable package: our starting second baseman, Bryce Turang, our top catching prospect, Jefferson Quero, and one of our best developing arms, pitcher Logan Henderson. Let's dissect this calmly because there's a lot to unpack here. First, why Ketel Marte? For those who don't follow the National League as closely, Marte isn't just a good player. He's a force of nature at the plate. A switch-hitting second baseman who consistently puts up elite numbers. We're talking about a player who, at 31 years old, is still in the prime of his career. In the 2025 season, while the Diamondbacks were struggling, he was one of the few bright spots, consistently maintaining an OPS, on base plus slugging, over 850, with projections to hit close to 30 home runs and over 35 doubles. That is middle of the lineup production that we simply do not have right now, especially coming from an infield position. His ability to hit for power from both sides of the plate makes him a nightmare for opposing pitchers and bullpen strategies. He's not just a slugger, he has excellent plate discipline, keeping his strikeout rate low for a player of his power caliber and maintaining a healthy walk rate. Placing him in our lineup, say, in the second or third spot between Christian Yelich and William Contreras would create an absolutely terrifying offensive trio for any team in the postseason. The main justification for this trade, and the reason it's even being considered, is our biggest weakness: power production. As Reimer's report rightly points out, we've become masters at getting runners on base. We have speed, we have players who draw walks, but we lack that punch. We lack the ability to clear the bases with a single swing. The numbers don't lie. Between 2017 and 2019, we were a home run powerhouse, ranking in the top 3 in the National League. Since then, we've never finished higher than 7th. That's a significant drop-off and a direct reflection of our struggles in playoff series, where a single home run can decide a game. Ketel Marte solves this problem immediately and spectacularly. He would transform our offense from one that relies on small ball and stringing hits together to one that can score runs in bunches at any moment. Now the obvious question every fan is asking themselves, but we already have a second baseman, and a great one, in Bryce Turang. And that's a perfectly valid point. Turang is, without a doubt, one of the best defensive players at his position in the entire MLB. What he does with the glove is magical. His range, his agility, the accuracy of his throws. He is a perennial Gold Glove candidate. His value in runs saved is at the top of the charts. However, and here's the crucial point of the analysis, modern baseball is driven by offense. Turang's defense is elite, but his bat, while it has improved, is still average. He's a contact hitter with speed, but his OPS rarely surpasses .700, and his power production is minimal. The trade, essentially, would be sacrificing Turang's elite defense for a monumental offensive upgrade with Marte. Marte is not a bad defender, it should be noted. He's competent, but he's not on Turang's level. The front office's bet in this scenario would be that the gain in runs produced by Marte would far outweigh the extra runs we might give up with a slightly inferior defense at second base. It's a classic defense for offense trade, but on a gigantic scale. It would be a statement of intent from our front office showing that we're willing to sacrifice an area of strength to fix our biggest deficiency and go all in for a World Series title. It's a high-risk, high-reward play. Let's now analyze the price we would pay, because this is where the conversation gets really serious and painful for us, the Brew Crew. The package of Bryce Turang, Jefferson Cuero, and Logan Henderson isn't just significant, it's a substantial part of our present and our future. Starting with Bryce Turang. We've already established his elite defensive value, but there's another crucial factor: his contract. Turang is still under team control for many years at a rock-bottom salary in the range of a few $100,000. He won't even hit salary arbitration for a couple more years, making him one of the most valuable assets in baseball in terms of cost effectiveness. Trading him for Ketel Marte means taking on Marte's substantial contract. He signed a 6-year, $116.5 million extension that runs through 2030, with a player option for 2031. The average annual value is approximately $19. $4 million. While that's a fair, even bargain value in today's market for a player of his caliber, it represents a massive increase to our payroll. We're talking about an addition of at least $18 million annually compared to what we pay Turang. For a mid-market team like ours, that is a gigantic financial decision that would have repercussions across the entire roster. Next, we have Jefferson Cuero. For the more casual fans, this name might not resonate as much, but for those who follow our farm systems, losing Cuero would be a massive blow. He is universally regarded as a top 5 catching prospect in all of baseball. His primary tool is his defense. He has a cannon for an arm with pop times, the time it takes for the ball to leave his hand and reach second base, that are among the best, even when compared to major leaguers. He has the potential to win multiple Gold Gloves. Offensively, he's still developing, but he shows the potential for good contact and occasional power. The logic for trading him, as the article points out, is the presence of William Contreras, our all-star catcher. With Contreras locked in for several years, Cuero's path to a starting role in Milwaukee is blocked. Therefore, using him as a valuable trade chip makes strategic sense. However, depth at the catcher position is a rare luxury, and trading away a talent like Cuero means we have no elite plan B if something happens to Contreras. Finally, Logan Henderson, a right-handed pitcher from a smaller college who has excelled in our development system. Henderson isn't a top-tier prospect like Jackson Chourio, but he represents exactly what the Brewers do best: find raw pitching talent and mold it into solid MLB contributors. He features a fastball that touches 95-96 mph with an excellent spin rate, and his slider is a devastating weapon against right-handed hitters. He has the potential to be a mid-rotation starter or a high-impact arm in the bullpen. Losing Henderson means losing one of those pitching lottery tickets that our organization has been so good at cashing in. For a team that builds its foundation on developing pitchers, giving up a talent like him is a decision the front office would certainly not take lightly. So, what's the verdict? Is this trade a pipe dream or a real possibility? Honestly, it runs counter to everything we've seen from our front office under Matt Arnold. Our modus operandi has been the opposite, trading away stars nearing expensive contracts like Corbin Burns and Josh Hader for a haul of prospects to keep the talent factory running. Acquiring a veteran on a long-term deal would be a 180-degree shift in philosophy. However, perhaps the front office feels that our window to compete for a title is open now. With a young, talented core already in the MLB, maybe they believe Ketel Marte is the final piece of the puzzle, the move that puts us over the top against teams like the Dodgers and the Braves. It would be an all-in gamble, sacrificing the future to maximize the present. My final analysis: acquiring Ketel Marte would instantly make us one of the most feared offenses in the National League. The price, however, is terrifyingly steep, not just in terms of young talent, but also in financial flexibility and the strategic identity of our team. Now, I want to hear from you, the Brew Crew. What do you think? Would you pull the trigger on this trade? Is Marte's offensive power worth the loss of a defensive pillar like Terang and 2 jewels of our future like Cuero and Henderson? Leave your comments below. I want to see a heated debate. This is why you need to be subscribed. Things are heating up this offseason, and I'll be here to cover every move, every rumor, with the detailed analysis you expect. Turn on those notifications. You are not going to want to miss what comes next.